All right. Hello, everyone. Katie Farner,
Caitlin Barria,
coming at you for Hustle and Heart February. And this is exciting because this is your first time joining me on Hustle and Heart. So for those of you, hi Camilla. So for those of you who are like, what the heck is this Hustle and Heart thing about? I just want to let y'all know because it's something I've been doing only for like 5 months. So Hustle and Heart is a no BS, like real, what's the word I'm looking for? I almost said harsh. Just no BS, like real direct training.
You tell it like it is.
Very
like
much so.
Your team member that came up to me yesterday at World Tour was like, I love your trainings. You just tell me like it is. I'm like, yes, I do.
It's just a FSO kind of thing. Figure shit out kind of thing. Like, so this is really designed for our consultants in the Sunshine State Superstars family that really want to grow up this career plan and are ready to break down their excuses and just get over it and get stuff done and want the real meat that's going to help them grow a business. Where our live Thursdays that happen every other Thursday in the team page, those are really designed for all consultants. And it's something that anybody can benefit from listening to, whether they want a career or a hobby. So this is just a meatier training. So I'm excited that you're here, and please make sure that your team members understand the value of joining Hustle and Heart if they want to grow up this career plan. And we do record them. I try to upload them to the YouTube channel after they're done. So hopefully this one will be uploaded in like the next day or two. Okay, so tonight I felt like it was really perfect to kind of go into some real tangible tools type training for really the three roles that we play as Scentsy consultants. Since last month we talked about leadership and the 21 laws of leadership. That was Matt.
That was some hobo off the street.
So last month we talked about the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership and kind of that whole structure. So this month I thought, let's talk about some real tangible things that y'all can start implementing now that we've talked about having that leadership lifestyle and mentality. So when we talk about being a Scentsy consultant, we kind of have like 3 different roles or 3 different hats, if you will, that we have to wear. We have to be a Scentsy consultant, right? We have to sell the product, which we will call a player. They're the player. They're out on the field. They're running the plays. They got their hands on the ball, and they are, running up and down that field. So we are a player. We are also a cheerleader. We're a cheerleader for our teams. We are praising them, celebrating their accomplishments with them. And we are also a coach. We are standing on the sidelines using our experience that we've gained, things that we have learned to coach our teams. Because oftentimes I feel like as leaders, we're really willing to be that cheerleader, but maybe not quite the coach. And we really need to understand as leaders that those are 2 very separate roles, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's a huge difference between being someone's cheerleader and being someone's coach. So we're going to talk to y'all tonight about those 3 roles that we play, the coach, the cheerleader, and the player, and just kind of give you some tools and some systems that will help you in each of those roles. So how does that sound to you guys? What do you think? Awesome. And I'd love to know when this is over, we'll unmute everybody and maybe talk a little bit more about any questions that you have or maybe areas where you feel like you're struggling, the player, the coach, or the cheerleader, because we all kind of have that weak spot, right?
Mine is coaching, big time. I'm good at cheerleading, but like coaching is.
And you're obviously an excellent player.
Right. But
she goes,
right. I mean, yeah, come on. You got to believe in yourself. We have to be cheerleaders for ourselves too, right? I mean, if we believe, we have to cheer, right? Come on.
Yeah. And I feel the same way personally. I think it's really common. Mm-hmm. I feel confident about my ability to play the game. I feel confident about my ability to cheerlead. But being that coach has been something that I really have had to push myself to do over the last year and a half. I would say I've been really working harder at being that coach and having those conversations where it's okay to talk about struggles, and it's okay to say, hey, here's an area where I see that you can improve, and here's some ways to help you improve. It can be hard. Mm-hmm. Because it almost kind of feels sometimes like you're that person's boss or supervisor, and you're
you can also
I'm not
feel
that.
What can I give that I,
mm-hmm.
What about me makes me special enough to coach somebody else? That's where I struggle. Is
mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's my biggest struggle with coaching.
Yeah. And especially too when you're new and maybe you feel like, oh, I haven't accomplished enough yet. I'm not good enough to be a coach.
Yeah.
We don't ever feel good enough to be a coach, y'all. We really don't. No matter how many trips you've earned, no matter how many annual mentor, annual sales, all that good stuff that we've earned, we still don't feel good enough to be a coach. It's true. So don't let that slow you down, because if so, then you will never want to be a coach, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
All right. So first let's talk about the player. So do you feel like maybe you struggle with playing the game? Do you feel like you're struggling with your sponsoring, your selling? Or do you feel pretty confident in that? Do you feel like you're playing the game well? I think one of the biggest things for a player is to make sure that we're giving ourselves goals and we're creating accountability for ourselves as a player. So one of the things that I think is very important is that we have a goal of front loading our calendar, because so often we'll start a month and things fall apart, right? Stuff happens.
I'm in that right now.
Mm-hmm. Like my last home party that I had, she canceled it and turned it into a bag party instead, and it barely qualified with 200 PRV.
Yep.
Thankfully, she did a bag party. She could have just canceled the party, which has happened plenty of times.
Yep.
So that kind of unexpected stuff happens to every single one of us. I don't want you to think that, oh, Katie, our SSD, her business looks great from the outside. Oh no, stuff happens.
I had a home party. I had a home party that I was telling her about. Had 16 people RSVP'd on the 1st of this month. I was so excited for this party. I show up, 2 people show up, and we all just kind of sat there staring at each other the whole time. It was really awkward, and I sold $50. So we all have those struggles. It's, I mean, you see the good parts of it. I think we need to be better at sharing the failures of it, because it happens.
We all have them.
Yes. Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So front loading your calendar will ensure that you have time to make up for the stuff that falls apart. So it's very, very important that you try to book as much as you can in the early stages of the month and the middle. So that way you've got that last week and a half, 2 weeks to get some more bag parties out or line up some more Facebook parties and recover from the losses that you've experienced at the beginning of the month. Other goals that are important for being a player would be front loading your day.
Oh, yeah.
Starting your day off by eating those frogs. I don't know if you've ever heard that term before. There's actually a book that's called Eat That Frog, and it's about the importance of starting your day off with tackling your biggest, most intimidating tasks first. Because oftentimes those biggest, most intimidating tasks,
we put them off.
Yes. And oftentimes those tasks are really the priority.
Especially if we're procrastinators like me.
Yeah. She's a procrastinator. I've seen it. Whereas I'm like a freak. I won't rest until I get things done. Right?
Yeah. Last night when we got home at super late and our car is packed to the brim and she's like, oh, come on, help me unload everything. I'm like, can we not just leave it all in the car?
Ray done, Abby.
Oh Lord, can we just leave it there?
We can't leave it in the driveway. People might come and steal it.
My Lord.
If someone found out all that Ray done, found out all that Ray done that was sitting outside of my Grand Cherokee, I would have come out to busted windows and all the Ray done would have been gone.
Losers. We're such losers.
It's true though. Okay, so, but yeah, I mean,
and putting your opportunity goggles on.
Yeah.
That was something you trained about yesterday. So I think that's the first thing we need to do
in the morning.
When we wake up in the morning is put on our opportunity goggles and make sure that we're thinking about our day and what we are doing that day and how each thing that we are doing that day can become an opportunity.
Yeah. If we're not looking If we are just going about our day without our business in mind and without our priorities in mind, we have to be observant and look for opportunities everywhere, because they truly do exist everywhere. So when we're talking about front loading your day, I want you to remember that you need to spend a significant chunk of your time, your business hours on your personal business. Because your personal business is the number one most important thing. You being a player is the number one. And that's why we're talking about it first. Because if you let your personal business fall apart, you're never going to get paid at title.
Right.
You're not going to grow wide, which is important for getting paid at title and growing up this career plan. You're not going to get your 500 minimum PRV.
You're not going to grow. You're not going to grow deep either, because if you're not a player, you're not recruiting.
Right.
So
being a player is the most important thing. And I mean, home office teaches us to spend 80% of our time on our personal business and 20% on our team.
That's kind of crazy.
It is crazy, because that's so far. I mean,
it's so far-fetched.
I would say I probably spend 60% on my personal, 40% on my team, if I was realistic. Wouldn't you say, or what do you think?
I'd probably say 70-30 for me.
70 business,
70
30
business,
team?
30 team for me.
So we're very similar in that. It's just a small percentage difference. But anyway, spend time every day on your business. Front load your day. Get it done and over with as early as possible in your day as you can. Now, I understand some of you work full-time jobs, or, you've got to get up and get the kids off to school. So I understand if it can't be the very first part of your day, but try to get it done as early in the day as possible for you and your schedule. Because if we put it off, we'll keep putting it off and then just put it off till tomorrow.
I also think that if you're being a good player, you're also being a good coach, because Absolutely. I would hope that your team is watching what you are doing and taking notes on what you're doing every single day. And I think they kind of play hand in hand.
That's what it means when we say be the engine.
Yep.
It's just another way to say
lead from the front.
Yes. Lead by example.
Lead by example.
You cannot expect to be the caboose of your team, and your team is dragging you along the track. So you've got to be the engine. And that's something that never ends. And that might sound intimidating, but I feel like it's an honor.
It is.
To be able to say that I'm the engine of my organization. To me, that's an honor, don't you think?
Yeah, I actually posted about that on Facebook today. I think it's a huge honor to be leading a bunch of people. I mean, I'm sure all of us think that way, feel that way.
So what does it mean when we're saying your personal business? Recruiting conversations, recruiting follow-ups, conversations with host follow-ups, and customers, taking care of your customers. When we say your personal business stuff, front load your personal business stuff in the daytime, that's what we mean. Another goal would be having a party every single week, whether it's a Facebook party, a bag party, a home party. As a player.
For a month.
Yes.
4 parties a month.
Exactly.
That's what you should be doing minimum.
Yep.
Text parties, basket parties, whatever kind of party you want to have. And if you want to be an overachiever, make it 6 just in case 2 cancel, because
you don't want to let a week go by without some kind of party being entered. Whether you're doing follow-ups, putting together random orders and getting that to 200, that's great. The text parties, like Caitlin said, bag party, home party, Facebook party, whatever kind of party, vendor event, once a week. And not to mention, is it just important for having a consistent business, but it's also important for those customers that hit you up and say, hey, I need those local customers that hit you up and say, hey, I need something. It just makes you sound so professional to say, well, actually, I have a party going in this weekend, so I can get you that free shipping. And then they start to count on that. And if you're like, oh man, I actually don't have a party going on for like 3 or 4 weeks. Ooh, doesn't that kind of make you sound unprofessional?
Yeah, super.
I'd be like, shoot, she doesn't have a party going on for weeks.
Well, I'm going to go to that consultant down the street that I just saw started her business, and she's got a party closing.
Yeah.
She can get me my wax quicker.
So let's talk about some player tools. We have jotted down some of our favorite tools that we use as business owners, as players, to assist us in our business. So why don't you take the first one that you want to talk about?
Okay, so the first one is the Hit 'em Up app. I hope some of you guys are using that. It's a text
Say it again slower.
Hit 'em up.
Like
HITEMUP. We're talking like rednecks here. Not hit them up. Hit 'em up. The Hit 'em Up app. It's a text blasting app. And what that means is I'm not blasting all my customers with like a group message. I don't know if you guys have ever been added to a group text and you just want to die.
It's awful.
It's not a group text.
Turn off notifications.
What it does, I actually have it, if I can pull it up
I'm trying to find it.
So this is the Hit 'em Up app. Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
It helps here.
But
you come up closer. And then there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I created a group called Local Scentsy Customers. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a bunch of people in that local group, and you can just select that group, and then you're going to compose your message, and you can add a photo to your message, and you can compose your message multiple photos. And you just compose your message, and
so
then
like give them an example of like a great photo that they would be sending.
So
like what they would use this for.
I remember in December, I texted all of my customers about, I had a local party closing for the ornament warmer on the 1st. So I took a selfie of me with the ornament warmer, and I just said, hey girl, I have a party closing. This super cute warmer just launched this morning. It's 10% off. So I blasted that to all my local customers. And then whenever I do personal specials as well, you guys know that it has to be a private forum. So a private forum would be a personal text message. So whenever I have personal specials that I'm running, I'll text it to all my local customers, because I don't really do specials for people out of town. It's just
me either. Shipping. It's always locals.
Yeah. Or when I'm doing open houses, because you guys, if you've seen my open house training, I do personal invites on all my open houses. So instead of like finding everybody individually, I just text blast everybody with a picture of the invitation to the open house. So that's how I use Hit 'em Up. You could also use that for your team members, but we'll go into that later.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about my follow-up notebook. So follow-up, you need a system for following up. Whether you like the concept of doing a notebook or you find another follow-up system that you're a fan of, I don't care how you do it, guys. I really don't. It's your personal preference. Like, I'm just sharing with you. She's just sharing with you things that we use. You might have another tool that we don't even know about that works great for you. And that's fantastic. I just want you to have systems that work for you, because if you don't have systems and you're just a hot mess trying to get through your day, it ain't going to happen. So find a system that works for you. But this is my system for follow-ups. You guys might have seen my training before, or Stephanie Malbrough when she shared it in our team page. But this is what I do. I have my little notebooks from the Scentsy family store, but you can use any old little notebooks like from Target that are just like this. It's like the small binder size. It's like the size of a catalog, basically. Small binder size notebooks, and then these little these small binder little divider tabs. So when someone contacts me and is like, hey, I need something, or I'm doing follow-ups and somebody wants something, I write up an order form and I put it here in the need to be ordered section. Or if I've done a party and we haven't quite, we haven't closed it yet, I have them all paper clipped together and they're here in this pocket. So this pocket is orders to be placed. I actually have a pre-order for March 1st sitting right here. One of my number one customers. Nice. She's got $120 in PRV sitting right here. I already have her credit card information and everything. It's ready to rock and roll on March 1st when I close my very first order. Because all I did was at my last open house showed her the new catalog on my phone, and she ordered all 3 of those things because she just fell in love with the Vino warmer.
See, I told you that was going to be a bestseller.
I know. She said it.
Yep.
She said it. Okay, so that's what goes here. And then in the back pocket is where I have order forms and labels. So for PWS orders, I actually just use photocopies of the order form instead of wasting a full order form. So when someone places an order on my PWS, the very first thing I do is just send them a quick email and thank them for ordering on my PWS, and write one of those photocopied order forms up for them. And I like to track them as well in my order history or my contacts tab, see if they've ever ordered from me before, see if they met me at a vendor event or something like that. Like, I want to know where I met them at. So that is what I do with PWS orders. And then I will obviously put it in the appropriate folder. All right, so here's the orders tab. So this is when I have just ordered something. This is when something has gone to shipped and is pending delivery, whether that's to me as a party or a PWS order. Then here is 1 week. I have 2 1-week sections because I'm a boss and I place a lot of orders. So this folder here is for needs to be ordered, ordered and waiting for delivery, and 1 week follow-up. I have 2 separate folders, another folder that's for 1 month, and a third folder that's for 3 months, because I have so many order forms, they cannot all fit in one. And I'm proud of that.
It's pretty awesome.
I work hard. I hustle hard to take care of my customers.
I've never heard of multiple binders. That's pretty darn.
Everyone I know that does this system has it all in one binder. I don't know how they can fit all their customer forms in one binder. I can't. I need 3. One for this one for the 1 month, and one for the 3 months. And my assistant has the 1 month and the 3 months. She sends those emails, but I send the 1 week emails. So I do 1 week, 1 month, 3 month. And the reason I have done that is because that's just the follow-up that I feel works best. So 1 week from when they have received their product. So either 1 week from when I've delivered it to the hostess, or 1 week from when her PWS or his PWS order has been delivered. 1 month from when their order was placed. So it's technically 3 months since they'd heard from me last. Or, and then the last one will be 3 months. 3 months from when they ordered. And I feel like at that 3 month mark is really when they're looking to reorder, for me at least. That's when I get most of my reorders. And it's all done via text. I don't make phone calls. I text or email.
I think Steffi said at leadership, I didn't catch this, but she said at leadership, you know how they said
70%?
70%. Well, they said that 70% of people do not order more than one time because we're not following up with them. But she also said customers are most likely ready to order after that 1 week mark.
7 days.
7 days. Like, that's completely crazy to me. I would assume the 3 month mark too, but statistics show that customers are ready to order after 7 days. So if you are not checking up with them,
that was from data from home office.
7
I remember
days.
hearing that and thinking, holy cow.
7 days. Like, maybe they got their wax and they love it and they want it in their entire house, so they want to order more warmers, but they've fallen in love with a particular fragrance and they'd be willing to buy laundry, it in something else. Scent packs and car bars, and I mean, you never know if you're not following up.
And I learned a new term at World Tour. I guess that's called cross-selling. I did not know that before World Tour.
What that means?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what cross-selling means. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, so that's my follow-up system. But there's many different follow-up systems out there. But any good player needs a system for follow-up. No excuses, period. You need to be doing follow-ups, right?
Right.
I did not do them for a good 4 years of my business.
I'm not great at them. And I think I'm going to go home and get that out.
It has dramatically, no joke, it has dramatically increased my PWS orders. Dramatically. Last month, I got over $900 in PWS orders.
That's awesome.
That's a lot. That's a freaking lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
In January.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I know single-handedly it's because of these emails. And then when I'm emailing them or texting them, my electronic signature, I get it from eSig.
I need to get that.
Yes. So it's MY. This should be one of our player tools. So it's MY, the letter E, and then SIG.com. My, basically, electronic signature, but just the letter E. MyESig.com. And
not like eSig.
Yeah, but signature. So I pay $9 a month.
That's not bad.
And it includes a beautiful,
especially if she gets $900 in orders and she pays $9 a month.
Yeah,
that's as much as we pay for our PWS.
And it's because when I'm emailing them, I've got this beautiful signature. It's easy for them to shop, and I just make it very simple for my customers. If we don't make it simple for them to reorder, they're just going to go to Walmart. It won't pull up on your phone. It's only on your.
It won't pull up on mine. Keep talking.
So, anyway, yes, that would definitely be a tool.
Here's her beautiful e-signature.
And you'll notice the images scroll.
Look. Oh my God.
So I pay $9 a month for that.
Post, join. Look how beautiful that is.
And you can choose your own, photo, of course.
That's worth $9. I need to get my butt on that too, huh?
It just looks so much more professional to me than just like something typed there. So anyway, yeah, I do believe that is part of my healthy, strong follow-up results that I'm getting. So I really regret all the years that I did not do follow-ups. I know that I've lost a lot of customers because of it. I'm not going to lie and pretend like I was doing them. For years, I did not do follow-ups. And I know that I have lost a lot of customers because of it. And I will not make that mistake again.
So I'm going to talk about Christina Stainbrook's scalable systems. I don't know if you guys have seen that on YouTube. It's something that we learn about at boot camp. They go into this at Director Boot Camp. If you've not been to Director Boot Camp and you're a director, you better get your booty there, because I'm going to reference some of our, I don't even know if I'm allowed to share this, but some of our boot camp images. So this just breaks down a simple weekly system. So what a scalable system is it breaks down your weeks and your months into a system that you can use. So for example, Mondays of the month, every Monday that falls in a month would be your customer day. So on your customer day, week 1, you would prep birthday postcards, if you do those, prep thank you cards, prep samples. You would email your customer newsletter or edit your customer newsletter.
Your one through Scentsy.
Yes. You would send your samples coming email to customers. Week 2, you could make next month's postcard for warmer of the month. Call previous month's customers to see if they love their purchase. So basically on every Monday of the month, that would be your customer day. And you would just break it down into 4 weeks.
And take care of all your customer-driven
actions on Mondays. Tuesdays, you could do team day. And I know a lot of us do team day. I usually do training Thursday. I know there's team Tuesday or training Tuesday. But so team day would be Tuesday. And some examples of that would be mail rankings postcards, congratulations on growing your team postcards. So you'd mail out all your postcards. You'd send termination emails. For me, that would be sending voicemails. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Birthday cards, postcards.
It could even be like running your reports in your performance tab and just checking out. But I guess this is more, we could talk about that later. Yeah.
So Monday would be customer day, Tuesday would be team day, Wednesday would be deliveries and errands. So what would fall under that would be
going to the post office.
Yep. Simple actions like that. So, or delivering to your customers, things like going to your businesses that you have postcard or your business cards in and refreshing the business cards, refreshing the samples, things like that.
Grabbing drawing things if you have like a drawing box there. Yeah.
Thursday would be host and recruiting day. So this is the day that you would spend focusing on hostess coaching. So setting up your parties or contacting your hostesses to coach them, getting out party invitations. Recruiting, you would post about your golden tickets or your join packets that you have, putting join packets together, putting hostess packets together.
Having having conversations with potential team members, checking in on them via text or whatever.
So that would be Thursdays of the month. And then Fridays could be your business days. And what falls under that would be, clean your office, organize for the month, restock your mobile office, order inventory if you need to, look for events, which is important. Katie just spent 2 hours or an hour the other day. And
2 hours one day, an hour the next day. So 3 hours.
3 hours total. She booked 10 events. So that's freaking awesome. Scan and organize all your receipts for the month for your taxes, because it's important to stay on top of that. So this is what a scalable system is. And Christina Stainbrook has this all laid out on her YouTube channel. So she breaks it down more. You do not have to follow what I just said. That was just an examples. Yes. And even if, say, you don't do that many deliveries and errands, that could be just one Wednesday of the month. It's all about building your own scalable system that works for you. Take what you do every single day and put it into a system and break it down into smaller categories so that each day has something that you need to be doing with activities to do.
Awesome, right? Super awesome. Okay, so another player tool that I want to talk about would be just some of the apps. Like she already mentioned Hit 'em Up. Another app that I just use constantly as a player and even a coach and cheerleader, but a lot as a player, would be like Canva, Word Swag, those are two apps that I'm just constantly using. Canva is Canva. Word Swag is Word Swag, SWAG. Both of those apps are fantastic. They allow you to do things like, let's say that this gorgeous warmer back here behind me, I have some pictures of that and I want to post it on social media. I'm not going to just post it. I'm going to put my PWS URL on it. Let's say that I want to make a graphic for an open house that I'm going to be having. I'm going to use Canva for that. So those two apps make my job a lot easier as a player, where I can open them up on my phone.
I make everything in Word
Swag. Word Swag is
I make all my open house invitations in there. I mean, it definitely takes a minute to like, you got to play around with it.
And there's some great trainings on YouTube teaching you how to use Canva. If you just search Canva on YouTube, you'll find tons of great videos to help you learn how to use it. I even have a training on it where I go over really the basics, because I'm by no means a computer genius. I will never pretend to be. And I'm sure know just the basics. So I shared with y'all what I know in a training, but then there's other trainings out there too. But I love Canva. I use it quite a bit. And then Word Swag, I use a ton too. Canva, I use more on my computer.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little easier on the computer. And Word Swag, I use on my phone. There is not a day.
The Over app.
Yeah.
Which is,
there's not a day that goes by that I don't use Word Swag.
Yeah.
Not a day. It's my favorite for adding text to photos and doing all of that good stuff. So there is no time that your profile picture on Facebook should not be you and should not have your PWS URL on it. And your cover photo should not be something Scentsy related that has your PWS URL on it. Like, you've got to be branding all of your stuff that you're putting out there with your information. So those are a couple tools that I love to use as a player to be able to make images that will help promote my business, make images for my VIP pages, or whatever it is that I need. Those apps are always there for me.
And then we've got MailChimp and Mad Mimi. I don't know if you guys use that. Mad Mimi charges you if you have an excessive amount of contacts. I pay $15 a month for it.
So does MailChimp. And I think with MailChimp, it's over 2,500 contacts.
So if you have less than 2,500 contacts, you're good. It'll be free.
For either of them.
Yeah, but I've got like 3,000 contacts, so Mad Mimi's like $15 a month. But I use that for...
She uses Mad Mimi. I use MailChimp.
Yep.
And you literally can just go to your workstation contacts tab. Well, here's why you would want to use it.
Yeah.
You would want to use it if your Scentsy PWS or your Scentsy newsletter has already gone out, but there's stuff you want to share.
Personal specials, again.
Yep.
For all of your customers.
Because you can go and edit your newsletter before it goes out and add a personal special in there.
Yep.
However, if you forget, or if it's already gone out and you want to offer a personal special after the fact, there's plenty of instances why you would want an account with a nice quality newsletter creating website. So what you would do is you would go to your contacts tab, you would export that report to Excel simply by clicking the button, open it up in Excel,
and then just
copy and paste.
You can copy
right
the whole
into
thing, all 3,000 emails if you have that many, and paste it right into MailChimp.
Paste it right into MailChimp.
And it'll
or
also
Mad
condense them so that if there's any duplicates, it'll condense them. They're not getting tons of emails from you.
It's fantastic.
And
it's very user friendly. So you can just plug in your images that you want. You can even make links. Like if you have a YouTube video you want to share.
So I did this one, final day for Christmas delivery. Look how it's just so cute. And then I put my photo there. These are my favorite Christmas products, and it linked right to these products.
So yeah, every single one of those images was a link. So if someone wanted to click on that Scentsy Go, they would click on that Scentsy Go, and it would take them to the Scentsy Go section of her PWS.
Yep. Just super pretty emails, eye-catching emails that your customers are going to open and more than likely click on your images, right? And I did the Scentsy Cyber Monday deals. So I sent out this email with all my Cyber Monday deals in it as well to all of my customers. So
you have complete control over that, which is really cool because obviously our newsletter that is generated by Scentsy, we don't have as much control over.
We can only change what the little blurb,
the photo and the little blurb. The little blurb that's like
and this you can change
sentences.
Pictures, links, everything.
Yes.
Everything.
It can be intimidating at first. I'm not going to lie.
Right. But everything can be intimidating at first. YouTube's your best friend. YouTube is my best friend.
YouTube is literally Google and YouTube are everything. Yes. Okay, so that's pretty much it for player tools, right?
Yeah. Okay. But like we said, you can have your own player tools as well. These are just the ones we use.
And when we were writing these down, it was like I'd say something and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I was about to say that." Like we just use the same tools. We're friends. We talk and share the same thing. Share ideas, and so that's why we use a lot of the same tools. So talk to other people that are doing well and say, hey, what tools do you use as a consultant, right? Like what are your player tools you like to use? Because there's just unlimited ideas out there. Okay, so now let's talk about being a cheerleader. So what's our role as a cheerleader? What does that mean? Like when I say we have to be cheerleaders, what does that mean to you?
That means that we have to be there cheering our team on every step of the stinking way. That's what it means to me. Mm-hmm. From beginning to middle to there's never an end, hopefully.
I love that she said that because it's about cheering for them consistently.
And on the roller coasters.
Yeah, because like let's say that it's a football team, right? And they're having a crappy season.
Does the coach
they're having
quit
a bad
when
game.
They lose?
Right. Or does the
cheerleaders throw their pom-poms down and walk out? I don't think so.
Those cheerleaders keep cheering.
They might want to, but they keep going.
Yes. The cheerleaders keep cheering no matter what, no matter how crappy the game is, no matter how bad the team is doing, the cheerleaders are still there doing their job, standing in front of the crowd, consistently cheering. So also when I think about a cheerleader, I think that it's kind of a thankless job.
Oh, God.
People don't really thank the cheerleaders. People praise the football team. People praise the football team.
That is so true.
They praise the coach. But how often do you hear people praising the cheerleaders?
Well, but they'll definitely crap on you if you don't show up to the game, though.
Oh, yeah.
So
if they weren't there.
You have to be consistent with your cheerleading.
Yes.
But don't expect a thank you because it ain't coming.
It's a thankless job being a cheerleader. And we have to be present and we have to be loud, cheering them on no matter the performance. So those are kind of some of our goals and some of the things that as cheerleaders we need to strive to do. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
All right. So now let's talk about some cheerleader systems. I'm going to go let my dogs in because they're out there barking and making a fuss. So talk about whatever you want to talk about first. Cheerleader tools.
Okay. So the first thing that we have listed here is our recognition calendar. So it's kind of like a scalable system, breaking it down into what days, if you're on Katie's team, I know she does like team day. And so she talks about who is highest, who has the highest numbers in the team. What other days do you do on your recognition calendar? I know you do team day where you say who's on your recognition calendar. How do you break down your recognition calendar? I know you do your team day where you shout out who's the highest.
So I do team Tuesdays.
Yep.
And obviously this is something that's like as your team grows and you've got 2, 3, 4, 5 people, it gets easier and easier to do,
well, and do it early too, because I'm just now implementing like systems like this 6 years into it. Mm-hmm. And it's much more difficult when you have 400 some people than it is with your smaller teams. So you could do start it now.
Motivational Monday. Like every single Monday you share a motivational quote, and it doesn't have to be on social media. It could even just be done through like the Hit 'em Up app. Or you could just text each person on Monday and send them a motivational image and say, hey, I'm thinking of you. Have a great day today. And just text them that motivational image. Like it doesn't, as you're growing your team, I don't want you to think that like you have to have a Facebook group because you're a lead consultant or a star consultant. Like get a Facebook page when you feel like you're at a place where it's something that you can take on, because a Facebook page is something I feel like you have to be incredibly consistent on, don't you?
Yeah, but I also feel like it's a really good place to start building team mojo early and team unity and team spirit. We just talked about spirit. Mm-hmm. I feel like the Facebook group is the best place to start building that mojo and unity and spirit. So whenever you feel comfortable that you can be that cheerleader, because when you have a Facebook group, you have to be a cheerleader every single day.
Very consistently.
Very consistently.
And like I've seen like Jose, one of our directors in our group, he did a Facebook message like with a group. And that's what he did to build his camaraderie and like get things going before he created an official like team
and
page.
That's great when
which
you're
I thought
small.
was a good idea.
That's great. That's what I did too. When I did not have a team page, we had a group message.
So there's so many things that you can do. Like, I don't want you to think that like all we're talking about here is team pages. Like, you don't have to have a team page, but if you do have a team page or you want to have some consistency,
or a Marco Polo group, that would be great.
Oh, a Marco Polo group would be fantastic. I love that idea. So that like on Mondays, you could provide your team in whatever avenue you want, provide them like a motivational Monday. Tuesdays, I like to do Team Tuesdays and shout out our top performing teams within our group. And then Wednesdays, I like to do Wahoo Wednesdays, where we shout out top performers in PRV
who's
based on title. Yep, who's active for the month, who's sponsored anybody for the month, who's earned shooting star so far or sensational start so far in the month. And then on Thursdays, I like to do Thankful Thursdays. And then on Fridays, Follow Up Fridays. So those are just some of the things that a couple of them are super consistent. And then the other couple I'll kind of throw out here and there. But I think it's cool to have a calendar, like an idea of what you want to be doing each day of the week. And I think another thing that's super important for us to have in place, like structured in our just presence of what we're putting out there, is a huge respect for home office. If we, for 1 second, waver.
This is so important.
If we for 1 second waver on our
Y'all remember Tinselgate?
Yeah.
If we as your leaders had come on the group page and just been like, I'm flipping, I'm done, I'm out, I'm done with Scentsy, I just lost $4,000 in orders, I'm done, I'm quitting. Like, how would that, you can never waver in your support of home office. Like, you have to be, and I'm not saying we weren't frustrated, super frustrated. The point is we don't show that. It was bad. We literally called each other and I was almost in tears. I was so upset, but I am not going to show that.
It's kind of part of that thing that you always hear where you vent up or out, never down. And it's not that everything is roses all the time, but there are proper avenues to share that frustration.
Yes.
And one of them is not to your team. I mean, if you're going to do that, then you might as well just slash all your tires on your car. You might as well shoot yourself in the damn foot.
Yep.
If you want to be negative to your team about home office ever, because home office is incredible.
Guys,
I truly believe 100% that Heidi, I don't think we can talk about that.
Darn it. Well, they just did something super amazing for us that we cannot talk about, but it literally just solidifies how much they care about every single dang consultant in our organization. Everybody. They love us.
I will say that in the 8.5 years that I've been with Scentsy, 8 years in May that I've been with Scentsy, I have never doubted that every decision they make is with our best interest at heart. Truly. I truly believe in our home office team. And so I'm not saying like, oh, you have to pretend like you believe in home office, but I'm saying sometimes initially right off the bat, you haven't necessarily experienced that. And so you as a younger consultant who's growing up our career plan, you might not have experienced that. So you might not have that confidence instilled in you might not have that confidence in home office yet, like we have from experience with them. So what I'm trying to say is, even if you don't have that confidence yet, it's incredibly important that you
portray that confidence and
compliment home office, and that you compliment what they're doing, right? Yep. So if home office is doing Training Tuesdays, you need to be sharing about Training Tuesdays and encouraging your team to do that. If home office is doing World Tour, you need to be encouraging that your team goes to World Tour. So complement the things that home office is providing, encourage people to utilize the tools that home office is providing, and always remain consistently standing with our home office team. I feel like we have a great family environment going on. And the
second you start cutting down that family is the second that the wolves attack. And then it's kind of hard to get the wolves off once they're They've already begun.
Yeah. Negativity can really breed negativity and just turn into a real shit show really fast. Just saying. So it's very important to not allow any of that, and kind of have a no negativity policy for your team and for yourself, really.
Right. I have a no frowny face policy. So
if
somebody posts a frowny face, and I don't even care if it's a funny frowny face or anything like that.
That post is getting deleted.
That comment is gone, or that post is gone. I don't send any explanation. It's just that is my family environment, and I am the mom, and moms are in control of what the hell goes on in the house, and that's my house, and that ain't going down in my group. Mm-mm. So it gets deleted immediately. So no negativity.
Okay, so why don't we talk about praise and goodies? Do you want to talk about that, or do you want me to?
You talk about that. I'll cover this.
All right, so these kind of go hand in hand, I feel like. As a cheerleader, recognition is crazy important, right? And there's so many different ways that we can recognize our teams. I don't want y'all to think when I'm talking about recognizing your people on your team that I'm saying spend tons of money.
Heck no.
Recognition can be free or like crazy cheap, y'all.
And most people like free recognition, like if you post on their Facebook wall and recognize them in front of their friends and family.
Yes.
That usually is more important to somebody than sending them a postcard or something.
So you can go into WordSwag, create an app that says create a photo. Oh, I'm sorry. You can always open the WordSwag app and create a photo that says, oh, you're our number one sponsor this week.
How hard is that?
Yeah.
Just 2 seconds.
That could be your Team Tuesday activity, is shout out the number one PRV person and the number one seller. Or that could be your Wahoo Wednesday activity. Every single week, you identify the number one top seller and the number one top sponsor, and you make an image and post it on their Facebook wall. That's free. And people love that kind of stuff.
Yes.
You could send them
Facebook voice memos. Those are huge. Or a Marco Polo. If you don't have the Marco Polo app, it's like a video walkie-talkie type
That's
thing.
Definitely a great cheerleader tool.
So, yeah, Marco Polo. Or Facebook voice memos. There's that little speaker that you can hold down and just send. I do this for my customers too. Mm-hmm. When I actually sent a couple this morning, I've had a couple PWS orders rolling while I've been here, and I'll send them a quick voice memo so they can hear my voice and hear how happy I am that they choose me as their consultant. But it's also good for your team to hear your voice as well. So send those short little voice memos. Just, hey, I'm thinking of you. Congrats on that new recruit that you just got. Congrats on being the highest in PRV. Voice memos are super easy, and they're free.
What I love about the voice memos too is they really can hear your excitement.
Yes.
It's so different. Like today, this morning, I sent Jose, one of our directors, a voice memo. And I was just telling him how proud I was of him and how much he inspires me as a leader, and that I really just am grateful to be on this journey with him. And if I were to have typed that to him, I'm sure that he still would have had grateful and thought feelings, it was nice. Yeah. But me sending it in voice
makes it that much more special.
I feel like that's way more impactful.
Yeah.
Than just typing it out. And there's a connection that happens between two people when you're speaking versus typing things. So I would say that when I'm communicating with my team, probably 75% of it is via Facebook voice memos specifically. It's one of my favorite ways to recognize. It's one of my favorite ways to just even train. I am obsessed with Facebook voice messenger. So yeah.
Another tool that we use a lot is Sly Broadcast, which is a website that we pay for monthly. Not monthly. We pay for voicemails, and it's
delivered voicemails.
So I send out voicemails for birthdays, anniversaries, cancellations, promotions. I'm missing something. Centiversaries.
You said it already. Birthdays?
No. Birthdays and centiversaries.
Centiversaries.
Birthday, anniversary, cancellation, promotions, and cancellations. Those are my 5. Are we missing something? I don't think so.
We do the same exact thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. It's SLY BROADCAST. So Google search Sly Broadcast, because that's not the website address. It's not like www.slybroadcast.com. I don't remember what the exact URL is. Hold on, let me just pull it up.
So what you do is you basically pre-record voice messages. So for
like you call into the number and follow the automated system,
and you record a voice memo. It is Sly Broadcast.
It is slybroadcast.com.
It's slybroadcast.com.
Okay.
And you pay by voicemail. So I think I
just have it saved. I never have to type it in.
$40 for 900 voicemails.
And I can tell you exactly.
Yeah.
You pay per delivered voicemail, and you buy them in advance.
And what she means by delivered voicemail is if you send out a voicemail and it does not go to a voicemail, it's not delivered successfully, they will not charge you for that voicemail.
Right.
And they'll let you know what voicemail was undelivered.
So let me see here real quick, just so I can tell you. Safari web content. Okay, weird.
Recharge account.
I have 546 message credits.
So
left.
100 messages is $10. 500 messages is $40. 1,000 messages is $60. So I must have done the $60. I did that probably beginning of this last catalog season, and I've only used like 150 voicemails or something like that.
And so like our cancellation voicemail, and so in our calendars, we've just kind of learned that we do certain things at certain points of the month.
Right.
Like the cancellations are always done on the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So you simply run a report to see who's up for cancellation, export that report to Excel. We'll make sure their cell phone numbers are in there. Export that report to Excel, and then you literally just copy all the phone numbers and paste them in the Sly Broadcast. Select the will cancel voicemail, because you just use the same one every single time. So you select that will cancel voicemail and send. And that's it. And then all of these people get a voicemail from you, and you don't say a name. You just say something like, hey, I wanted to let you know that you were up for cancellation this month. I would hate to see you go. Remember that you have to get 200 PRV in to get active this month. And then they'll know that's what they got to do. Is anybody else having trouble hearing us?
Can everybody hear us?
Abby, give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Okay.
Okay.
We got a message saying someone was having a hard time hearing us. So like obviously cancellations you do at the beginning of the month to let everybody know, hey, you've got these 30 days or 31.
Birthdays and anniversaries, beginning of the month.
Yep. And then promotions you obviously can't do till the end of the month or the middle of the month
when we get
commissions
paid,
are run.
After we get paid.
So I usually do those on the 15th, because then I know the report is good by then. So that's kind of like my date. That's why I said the middle. Because for me, I do those usually on the 15th. So I run my report under the performance tab. There's a report already done for you that says promotions. So within your entire team, you can see any promotions. So let's say you had 2 people promote to certified. You'd take their cell phone numbers, export it, and then paste them right in there. And they'd get a voicemail from you that sounded like you made a call direct to them and said, congratulations on your promoted to certified. Congratulations. And the next step is leave.
This has, so when your team gets kind of big, you can't keep track of everybody. There's no way that you can have relationships with 400 some people. She has 800 some people. There's no way that I can have personal relationships with every single person. But this way, when I'm sending out birthday emails and anniversary emails and all this stuff, I've gotten so many messages from group members that I've never talked to, who either they text me back, because the number will show up. You can choose what number shows up as the delivered voicemail. Mm-hmm. So I'll get texts back. Oh my God, thank you so much for that birthday message. Like that.
Oh, constantly.
Meant so much to me. That meant so much to me. And it's people that I've never personally talked to. And so I'm fostering relationships in my group. Mm-hmm. What if they don't answer the phone? It goes straight to their voicemail and delivers it to their voicemail box.
Yes,
they're not answering the phone or anything.
It actually does not ring.
Yeah.
And if it does ring, it rings for like a split second and goes straight to voicemail. So that's what's so great about it is it's just boop, delivers right into their voicemail. So then they get a voicemail from you and they're like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know you called. Like every time someone contacts me back, they're like, I didn't even see you calling. I just had a voicemail from you. Mm-hmm. So it really does not ring. But, being a cheerleader, it just requires being intentional. I think intentional is such an important word in this business. Being a great player requires being intentional. Being a great cheerleader, being a great coach, you've got to be intentional. And it's simple stuff that you just have to make a few minutes to do. So like one of my favorite things to do is just halfway through the month, make sure that I'm running a report and seeing who's already, on their way to getting paid at title, or maybe is already active, and just send them a quick voice memo and saying, hey, Laura, I saw that you're active already this month. Congratulations. That's awesome. Or saying, hey, Laura, I see you're already paid at title this month. That is so fantastic. Like, it just requires being intentional, paying some attention to that performance tab so you can be a cheerleader for these people. And if you don't really know how your performance tab works, you really need to watch a training on it. I have a training on the performance tab of the workstation and how all of those reports work.
New from that all the time. That performance tab is such a huge tool.
Huge supportive tool.
Right.
Another great tool for being a cheerleader is Crazy Helium Booth. It's actually an app called Crazy Helium Booth. And I've made a few videos in it and posted them in our team page, so you maybe have seen them before. But it's just this little app where you can record yourself with all kinds of funny like effects, like where you make your head all funky shaped, or like crazy pop eyes, or like silly little voices. So it's so funny to like record a little thing and then text it to someone. So you could just be like, holy cow, I can't believe you're already active this month, and then they get this silly little video of you shouting them out for being active. So there's fun ways too that you can provide that free recognition. And the Crazy Helium Booth app, I think, was free. I don't even remember. I downloaded it so long ago. But it's called Crazy Helium Booth, and I really love that app. So anything else you want to share about cheerleader tools or systems?
I like this too. So something that I'm going to start doing it's coming. I'm going to start doing it probably next month. I don't know if you guys know, but you can see insights in your group now. So you can go to your groups and see who is commenting the most every single month. So you can keep track of who is commenting, liking, interacting the most on your group page. And I might just call it like Baria's Best Cheerleader Award or something.
That's
and
cute.
Send them something small. I think there's a Scentsy keychain in the director back office.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
Those little things that I bought from the Dollar Tree that I was supposed to bring to World Tour that I forgot. Those little like blowy things.
Yeah.
Like pom-poms. Even that would be cute to send with a little card.
It does not have to be expensive.
Yeah.
And that's one person you're choosing a month.
Mm-hmm.
So
it could be that cute little like blowy trumpet thing. Like it looks like a little celebration thing.
I don't know what that's called. A noisemaker, whatever it is.
With a $5 Starbucks gift card. It doesn't have to be any big deal.
I do that a lot too. So sometimes I'll do like cover photo contests. So whoever designs our cover photo gets a $5 Starbucks card, and you can send that through Facebook Messenger or through email. You go to the Starbucks website and you can send it directly to their email, $5 Starbucks gift card for designing the group cover photo. Just little things like that.
Tell me that this wouldn't be cute for a cheerleader.
Yes,
along with a little
cute.
$5 gift
or
card
like
to Starbucks.
Or like the Scentsy keychain. They're like $1, $2 or something.
This is $1 at the Dollar Tree for all 12 of these.
So cute.
I like it because it has like a cheerleader vibe to it. This kind of makes me think of a pom-pom.
So you want to make sure that you're thanking those who are helping you in your group pages, right? Because that's huge. Apple Pay now too. Yeah, right, Brooke. Oh, and there's Facebook Pay as well. Mm-hmm. So you can send a $5 Starbucks card super easy through Facebook
And if y'all
Messenger.
have a question while we're talking too,
yeah, we can see
on
the chat if you guys have questions.
And a suggestion that I've been told before is to put 5% of your profit that you make on your team. So not 5% commission, not 5% of your overall commission, but a number that I have been told before is to invest 5% of the profits that you make off of your team back into the team for giveaways, recognition, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of like a little ballpark number if you're looking for ideas for investing money back into your business. And of course, anything you buy like this kind of stuff, a $5 Starbucks gift card for your team, that's tax deductible, and it would be considered gifts. So, all right, so let's talk about being a coach now. All right, so the coach role. This is the role that dun, dun, dun,
it's so scary.
Tends to intimidate most of us.
It's so scary. Like,
who gets intimidated by the coach role? Who gets intimidated by the coach role? We all do. But that's okay. Just like we learned at
like,
World
seriously,
Tour.
this is my girl right here who loves coaching.
Stacey Martin raised her hand.
Yep, Shannon. Every time she freaking asks me for a coaching call, I literally am like, like, what am I gonna coach her on? What does she not know?
And I'm now deaf. Shannon, don't do that to her again. Don't make me go deaf. I'm just kidding, Caitlin. I love you. I love you. Okay, so please understand, everyone gets intimidated by the coaching aspect of this business. Yep. None of us feel good enough to coach others.
Nope.
None of us feel good enough. Period.
Ever.
It's never going to change. So you just have to get over it.
Get over yourself.
You're never going to feel good enough.
Business book too. Get over your damn self, I think is what it's called.
I never read it.
It's a good book too.
All right, so let's talk about our goals as a coach. These are the goals that we should strive for. Know our team's strengths and weaknesses. How do you think we learn our team members' strengths and weaknesses? Being observant.
By asking, talking.
And asking, right? Like from simple efforts of observing our team members, we can see their strengths and weaknesses, right? Because we have the ability to look at their numbers in a performance tab. We have the ability to look at their social media presence and what they're doing in that way. We have the ability to see how they're working their business through the magical place called Facebook, right? Like we have a big window into that.
And the magical performance tab.
Right. So we can observe a lot of that stuff. And like Caitlin said, through asking, you have to be talking to them. Because we're not mind readers, unfortunately. It'd be kind of cool if we were, but we're not. So we've got to know their strengths and weaknesses. And one thing I want to add to this is make sure they understand that it's okay to share the crap with you. Like I'll say to some of my team members, I'll say, like, I'm not here just for the good stuff. I want you to come to me with the bad stuff too.
Said at the beginning,
because if you suffer in silence, I cannot help you. So I want to make sure that you guys say that to your team members too. Don't suffer in silence. Come to me if you're struggling with something, because I can't help you if you don't come to me.
And train them to come to you over the team page.
Yes, of course. Yes, important. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Venting up, not on the freaking team page.
Yes, because if they were just to post in the team page, that's not where they're necessarily going to get the support that they need. It might get ignored, which makes them further frustrated because nobody answers, or other people jump in and then it's just a bitch fest.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that they know to come to you, right? I told you this is like so real. I'm like, this is a bitch fest. But no, I mean, that's what these hustling heart calls are.
I might have to start these.
This is just real as it gets. There's going to be no fluff here. Okay, so what else should coaches have for their goals? The ability to coach well in a group setting, not just one-on-one. So we need to be able to coach one-on-one and coach in a group setting, aka stuff like this, right? Aka Facebook pages, aka local get-togethers where you're doing a training, right?
Yes.
You need to be able to coach well in a group, just like a football coach would, right? And coach one-on-one. You need to be able to
coach others out of their comfort zones. So actually, if you didn't see our challenge today in Sunshine State Superstars and on Various Best, our challenge was within the next 24 to 48 hours, go live in the team page for 3 to 4 minutes so that you can, okay, we'll talk about this in a minute. So, what was I saying? Go live for 2 to 4 minutes.
We challenge y'all to do that.
About your aha moment, or about your belief statement, or what else did we say?
Oh my God, we've already been talking for an hour.
I know, like we're wrapping it up. We're on our last couple
I'm sorry,
things.
guys.
we're on our last couple sentences.
Yeah.
We did start 5 minutes in, so we're only 5 minutes over our time.
Sorry, guys.
We're wrapping it up, I promise.
Thanks for bearing with us. You guys rock.
Yes.
True bosses.
We've kept all of our participants pretty much. But yeah, coaching them to get outside of their comfort zone. Small things like that. Like, hey, did you love World Tour? Go live and tell us about it. You know, just small things like that.
Develop drills. I love develop drills. And here's why I like this. Thanks, Brooke. She said, take your time. I love Brooke. Develop drills. What are examples of drills? 50-10 rule every single month. I push the group to do 50-10, 50 samples, 10 possibility packets, no excuses. Every month, EBG. I try to encourage y'all to set an excuse-busting goal. Like, you've got to develop these drills, these things that you push the team to do that are going to produce results. The last thing you would ever want to do is encourage your team to be doing something that's going to waste their time, right? So develop drills, things that you know are proven to produce results, those actions that you know are proven to produce results. Learn new strategies. This is huge. You can't be a coach without being a student. You know, you have to be a student. You have to learn. You did, Stacy. High five.
You go, girl.
You have to be a student and
constantly be learning. That
yes.
means reading business books, self-improvement books, listening to podcasts. That means watching Scentsy's trainings.
Going to home office, going to trainings.
Yeah, those are not just for new consultants. Scentsy trainings are for everybody, and you best be watching them.
And like, whether you're a superstar director or a certified consultant, you should be getting on those Tuesday calls.
You have to be.
Because
constantly
it's new ideas, and those new ideas help you lead your team. So whether you're a director or not, like, someone might come on there who's a brand new director, and she's got this hot new idea that you've never even thought of.
Well, and whether those ideas pertain to you, you're sharing with your team. So whether those ideas you're thinking, oh, this is great, I'm going to use this for myself, even if it doesn't give you that effect, it's something that you can share and spit back to your teams because it might work for one of them.
And we totally understand that plenty of people work during the Tuesday call, but it's recorded.
Yep.
You can go back and listen to it. So make it a priority to not let a week go by without you learning something new.
Personal development is huge.
Yeah. And schedule practices. What would you say would be considered practices, Caitlin?
What do you mean?
When I think of scheduling practices, I think of stuff like this, right? Where you're scheduling, where you're scheduling opportunities for them to learn, scheduling opportunities for them to grow. I would also consider scheduling practices, things like going to a party with them and like coaching them and helping them one-on-one in a party setting.
Harry Potter challenge type thing that we do at the same time every year.
Yeah.
So, these are your practices. Like, we do our 2 Thursday trainings a month. Over the summer, I have a Harry Potter challenge that I do with my entire group. Mostly in April, we do a bacon event. So like, it's just coming up with practices that you're going to keep doing. And my team asks me for this stuff all the time. They're like, when's the next challenge? When's the next bacon night?
Mm-hmm.
So
you need to give them opportunities to perfect their craft, right? And enhance their skills. Just like a football player, you know, because these are all football player references, right? So like a football player has to hit up the gym, right? They have to have a certain meal routine. Like, they have to do things to perfect their skills.
Yeah, if you could add me to that next Harry Potter challenge, that would be great. I love you, Brooke.
Okay, so let's talk about systems and tools for being a coach. So we already talked about kind of like a calendar system. You can do the same thing, but for coaching. So one of the things that I saw that has always kind of stuck with me was something that Jen Audette shared. And it was back at a leadership a few years back. She showed us these full sheet calendars. So like one page of printer paper, and it would have, say, the whole month of March on it. So you've got the first week, the second week, the third week, and the fourth week of March. So the first week of March, and this is something that you would need as your team developed bigger and bigger and bigger. But it's something you could totally start now, right? So week 1 was for essential and certified consultants. Week 2 was lead. Week 3 was star, and the last week was superstar consultants and directors and above. So that is how she organized her month to ensure that everyone in her team, not her group, was getting connection opportunity with her. And oh, that's the fridge.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that noise? An opportunity for coaching. So, because as your team gets bigger, like say you've got a team of 40, you're going to be like ripping your hair out because you're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, I can't talk to all 40 of these people in a month, because you're looking at the big picture instead of narrowing it down. So what if you broke it down by title instead and said, all right, week 1 is those certifieds and essentials, and I'm going to make sure that I send a message to them and connect with them. So even if you use the Hit 'em Up app and say you've got all of them grouped, here's my certifieds. All right, I'm going to send this message to the certifieds. And just say, hey, how's it going? I hope you're having a great week. Please know that I'm here. I love you. I care about you. And I'm here. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to support you today. Whatever. Just whatever's authentic to you.
Make it authentic, though. And don't make it look like you're text blasting all your essentials and certifieds.
And then this way, and that's just one example. If you wanted to take the time and you've got the opportunity because your team is smaller or whatever, send individual voice messages to those people at those titles those weeks. But that's just one example of how you could create a communication calendar to help keep you more organized and make sure that you're able to touch all the different groups. Because sometimes when we're coaching, it's easy to focus on the obvious. Like it's easy to be like, oh, well, this is a superstar consultant. This is a star consultant. Like it's easy to focus on those people and forget about the other people in your team that maybe are growing more slowly. But I want you to remember this instant, something could happen in that certified consultant's life that changes everything for her. And she needs this business to work. And she's afraid. And she doesn't want to reach out to you and tell you.
Shayla shaking her head.
And she's afraid. She doesn't want to reach out to you and tell you because she's hesitant that she's going to fail anyway. And so she's just thinking, God, I really need this Scentsy business to work. And then she gets a message from you, right? Never give up. Never give up on those team members that seem like, a dark horse, like a silent.
I'm so bad. See, guys, I'm so bad about that.
It's
you have to constantly be reevaluating yourself, reevaluating the things that you do, reevaluating your practices. And it's so good to have your tribe because there's things that I do that she doesn't do. There's things that she does that I don't do. And it just find your people because it helps you check yourself before you wreck yourself. So,
yeah. So, one-on-one coaching calls. Let's talk about that a little bit. What do you want to say about that?
So I did those for a little while, and I'm about to start doing them again, but on a less structured kind of system. But literally, it's as easy as picking dates in your calendar that you are free for coaching calls and giving your downline or your frontline, I always get that confused, times to choose from. So I literally just posted about this in my leadership page, which is stars and above. And I just said, hey guys, I'm coming home on Tuesday. I am free Wednesday to Friday, anytime 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If those times don't work for you, let me know and I'll try and fit you in at other times. But I set the precedent and then I let them choose the time. And then they call me and they let me know prior what we're going to talk about so that I can prep some things and think about it. But you also want to keep in mind that these coaching calls are kind of like your recruiting conversations. You want to let them talk. You don't want to talk over them. You want to listen. So you just set the time, set the precedent. They let you know what they want to talk about and they call you at that time. If they don't call you at that time, then they're out of luck.
It's important to create that accountability where they call you.
Yep.
I totally agree with that. And I feel like with the coaching calls, it can be super, I remember so many times where I would get like a pit in my stomach before I would do a coaching call because I would just feel like, oh God.
What are we going to talk about? Or
am I going to be able to give them advice? Like, are they going to ask me something that is going to stump me and I'm going to feel like I don't know what to tell them? Like, I still feel that way a lot of times, guys. Like, I just want you to know we all have a hard time sometimes, like, with this coaching call, but we get better every time. And
it's just like going live on Facebook. You get better every time.
And there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I want to help you with that. And that's actually something that I want to get better at too. So why don't we work together on that? Like, let's look up maybe a book that we could both read together.
Oh, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there is nothing wrong with being vulnerable and just admitting that, you know what, like, that's something I want to work on too. Let's do that together. I wouldn't think, like, if I was talking to my upline and I asked her about something and that was her answer to me, I wouldn't be like, oh, she sucks ass. I'm never going to ask her anything again.
She's stupid.
Yeah.
God.
No. I would feel like, oh
wow.
I'm normal.
It's relatable.
Yeah.
It's so relatable.
Please don't feel like you have to know everything to have coaching calls and be a great coach, because I sure as heck don't know everything. No. But
even us together don't know everything. I mean, we're powerhouses, but even us together don't know everything.
No. And there's such a great connection that comes from that realness of, if something happens and you don't know what to say, it's okay. So when you're having those one-on-one coaching calls, I feel like everything Caitlin said was great. Have them create that accountability where they're calling you at the scheduled time. Another thing I love to do too is just send a few text messages out or Facebook messages. Like, if I've got a 45-minute drive, a half-hour drive, an hour drive, I like to use that time. You know, I try to make my time, I try to make the most of my time.
Time is precious.
And when I'm driving in the car, I can talk hands-free. I have Bluetooth in my car. And so, you know what? I'm not going to waste that time.
That's the only time her and I ever talk.
I'm going to call somebody from my tribe that's going to help me deal with something that I've got going on, or I'm going to call someone from my downline. So I'll send some messages and say, hey, at 2:00, I got to drive a half-hour drive. You want to chat today? And I'll fill my time, and I'll make sure that I'm not wasting a car drive. And I know all of y'all have places you drive. Don't tell me you don't. I know all of y'all do. I know all of y'all, will be sitting in a car waiting for kids, a kid pickup, or sitting in the bleachers while they practice volleyball or whatever. Like, you've got that time. So use that time to coach. And it doesn't always have to be a phone call. It can be some Facebook voice messages. It can be some text messages. Find the opportunity to coach. All right. So some other coaching systems would be books. Holy cow. I'm just going to give you a few books offhand that I think are phenomenal for developing your leadership abilities. So Go Pro would be a book that I would absolutely recommend. Also, and I don't remember who the author is. Eric
Worre.
Yeah.
Eric Worre, Worre.
So it's called Go Pro. That's a great book. Also, Sarah.
Be a Badass by, who is that by? What is her name?
Jen Sincero.
Yes, Jen Sincero. Yes.
Yep, you are a badass.
Yep.
Kristen's got it. I love it. Another book that I would recommend is by Sarah Robbins. And her book is called, what is it called? Sarah Robbins' book. I have it in my office.
I can't do the authors. I'm so bad with names. I know J.K. Rowling, and that's about it. We're about to watch Harry Potter when we get off here, so I'm like so excited. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
She made me buy the DVD pack for $60.
All 8 movies. It's about to go down. She's never seen them. I'm so excited.
I said, I just spent $60 on these stupid Harry Potter movies.
Rock your network marketing biz.
Thank you, Brooke. I said, I just spent $60 on these stupid Harry Potter movies.
Stupid.
They better be good, because I could buy a lot of Ray Dunn for that. Yes, thank you, Brooke.
You're never going to be the same.
Oh, God.
Big Magic is a great book.
So Brooke said, Rock Your Network Marketing Biz by Sarah Robbins. Yes. No, I've never seen them. I know I'm a weirdo.
Shayla said Big Magic. That's one that they told us about at Leadership. I'm literally reading one right now. If Harry Potter were the CEO of General Electric, and it's like leadership tips from Harry Potter. There's also 7 Keys to Disney's Leadership Success or something like that I'm reading right now.
She cracks me up. The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell.
Oh, Beach Money.
Yeah, that's a really good book, but it's very much about like understanding your opportunities with network marketing. But yeah, so
those kind of books.
Those are some real like leadership driven coaching books. And then of course there's tons of videos on YouTube and stuff that you can watch too, and training center stuff. So other tools would be just if you wanted to develop some kind of like structured program with your teams, like if you wanted to do lead to lead, which we're doing right now in my team. Some of you are participating. Well. She's doing lead to lead as well. And another thing you can do is starting March 1st, we're going to be facilitating a brand new program, which have you talked to your group about it yet?
No.
We haven't talked about it at all, so y'all are the first to hear about it. We have created it, Caitlin and I, with a few other leaders, some directors from our teams, and also some leaders from outside of our teams. That is going to be called NGD, which stands for Next Generation of Directors. So this Next Generation of Directors program is going to be for lead consultants and above. So that's why we're doing Lead to Lead this month, is because we want to help more people get to lead. So we have more people participating in this program potentially. So this program is going to be for lead consultants and above. It's going to be 8 weeks long, and it's going to be a no-nonsense, here's how you get to director and stay there training, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to have a Facebook group. There's going to be one training a week on Sunday nights, and we're super excited about it. And we'll have some requirements for people to be able to graduate, things that they must do over the course of those 2 months. And we'll have weekly challenges, and we're really excited about it. I'm excited. She seems pretty serious, and
I'm just waiting for Harry Potter.
Oh, God.
No, I'm very excited about it. I hate you. I'm a nerd, not a loser. Thanks.
So we're super pumped about NGD, and I think it's going to be really fantastic. We've been working hard on this content to make it just, I really wanted it to be like advanced.
It's going to be like hustle and heart every week.
Yeah, it really is. It's very no fluff.
So. Yeah, no fluff.
Oh,
no fluffs given.
So yeah, so we'll have that program that will help you with your coaching as well, and just really all of it, being a player, being a coach, and being a cheerleader. So we hope that tonight's Hustle and Heart brought some value to your life and your business, and that it helped you to kind of see the three major aspects of your business, both your personal business as the player, your cheerleading, which really is your group and your team, and then your coaching, which is really your frontline and your rock stars. And I want to add that as your teams get bigger and deeper, I don't want you to think that when you're coaching that you should only be working with your frontline, right? Because I have plenty of people that I work with that are 2, 3, 4 levels down, but they're just really driven individuals, and I see magic in them. And I'm sure she's the same way. So don't limit yourself just to your frontline. I want to add that when it comes to the coaching, the cheering, everything. Okay. So anything else you want to add before we finish up?
No, I think we covered a lot of ground here tonight.
I feel super good about tonight. And yeah, so it is recorded. I'm hoping to upload it to the YouTube channel. And when I do, I'll be sure to share the link in both of our group pages.
See you guys later. We love you. Thanks for tuning in and hanging